Welcome everybody to the PHC Wrap Up Show here from the 2020 NCHA Futurity, brought to you by Great American Insurance and North Texas Chevrolet. And this wrap up is brought to you by Badboonarising. And I'm joined here with my co-host Tim Smith. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mark. It's good to be here. It's been a long 5 days of cutting, and we're going to tell everybody what's happened, huh?
Boy, and what a cutting it's been so far. I mean, we're seeing more. If you thought last year's Futurity started out with a bang, this year is going even bigger.
Yeah, it sure has. And this year's Futurity round was one with a 224, Taran Rice, and right off the bat in the first go-around the first morning. And then we had 223 winning our second place high score with Austin Shepard here in the next to last set tonight. But the cows have been excellent. The judging has been very positive. It's a great group of colts, and we've probably got the most scores we've ever had above a 220. And the bubble score is actually a 218.5. So
for the
semis,
yeah,
right?
That's
exactly.
The projected formula.
Yeah,
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It took a 214.5 to go to the second go round. But you know, that all important bubble that everybody's looking for and talking about is that 60th hole. That's kind of a general formula to kind of let you give you an idea of what it's going to take to the semis. But
right.
Yeah, it's been a great start, and like I said, Taran started off the first set with that big score, and right up through the last set we saw big scores.
Yeah, all the way through, in a tough bunch of colts. They again cutting like older horses, similar to last year's group. And a 25 won the round last year, 24 won the round this year, and it's another great group of horses. So we'll see what the second round brings.
Yeah, and we caught up with Taran Rice a little earlier today and talked about his run in the first go round.
I got Axel in probably February of his 3-year-old year from Joel. Well, the things I like most about him is his strength and his temperament. You know, he's really laid back, takes the training well. Wants to please, but I would say his strength and maturity most of all. I drew early in the first set. I was 6th horse out. Had to help Cody first and 5th. We sat there, me and Tatum and Matt and Cody. Watched those cows pretty close. I actually kind of ran out of our favorites between the first 5 and kind of went to what we maybe not our very, very top ones, but luckily the couple that we got were real good. Worked 2 cows. They were both good enough that we stayed there, worked one till the buzzer, and it was good. In preparation for the second round, we gave him a couple days off, worked flag a few days, cows for a couple days, and just hope to do the same. Hopefully put a run together and not do anything crazy, get some cut in the middle of the pen, and hopefully get on to semis.
Well, Tim, that was Taran. I mean, he was the top of the heap so far, but like you said, Austin came in there. And the thing that we're seeing is breeding is playing a big part in this. We're not seeing some off-bred things coming in and marking big scores. These are all out of high-power mares and some new sires.
Yeah. Yeah, the freshman sires have certainly made a huge impact on this. Taran's horse being by Raising the Cash. We saw a bunch of Metellus cats, Don't Stop Believin', Smooth Talkin' Styles, and other young horses. Smart Pepto 10 had a fabulous filly in the next to last bunch that had a little trouble. We certainly could hear from. That's a mare that could win the Futurity. She was absolutely phenomenal with Jose Cruz. But an amazing group of horses. A lot of the Western Bloodstock sale graduates have come back. I believe we have 3 that were 300,000 plus that have advanced in the upper end of the go-round. So the cutting is in a good place. The colts look fabulous, and we're looking for big things in the second round. It's certainly going to be an exciting cutting.
Yeah, and touching on that, Fancy DeVille shown by Austin Shepard for that 223. That was the high seller last year, $350,000. Consigned by Todd Nelson and ridden by Richard Jordan, and Billy Wolf, picked that one up, and it sure paid off today so far.
Yes, exactly. And in the one of the second high sellers, or a couple of the second high sellers, Stars Coppercat, again another Todd Nelson Richard Jordan combination. They have got the Midas touch in the 2-year-old
program
sale.
That's been so.
That
fun.
is amazing. And this mare with Grant Setnica for J5 Horse Ranch was a 221. One of my favorite horses in the first round. He only marked a 217, but it was Hickerish, and he was a 300,000 plus for the Rock and P Ranch, and
renamed now to Spot's Hottest.
Hottest.
So you won't see Hickerish in the draw, but that one was renamed after they purchased it.
Correct, and a fabulous horse. I believe he marked 17.5, so he's certainly in the cutting. but just a wonderful horse, and there were several full siblings to some of our biggest winners that have come back, and it was good watching. It was really good watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And the mare power is strong. You know, Wesley came in there in that last set on one out of Button Down Supercat, and many of you all will remember that great mare, and laid down a 221.
Correct. And
Bugatti, quite a name for that one.
Yeah, and really it was effortless. It was 221 at an idle, and another great show mare of Wesley's and Stephen Finer's Little Rattler. Her first foals have been in the Futurity this year. Wesley marked a 20.5 the first day on Little Rattler's first baby, as smooth as a cat mare. So the broodmare power is over the top as always, and I just think that as we get through the second go round, it's going to take a lot of points to advance. You know, it's been a really good cutting to this point, and just a lot of 73, 74 runs.
Absolutely.
I mean, really good group of colts, and well trained and well shown. You know, we've seen an influx. From a catch rider's perspective, we've seen an influx of snafflebit guys doing really well this year. Todd Bergen, 219 and a half and a 218, and Kelby Phillips. I know that Corey Cushing showed some, and I just think that you know, the horses. A lot of guys brought a lot of colts, and they were sure prepared, and they put the catch riders up there, and it's making a big. They're making a big splash.
It's been fun to watch, and just talking about, you know, the level of competition this year. Last year, as a comparison, there were 5 horses that had a 222 at this point. This year we've got 7. Last year there were 23 horses with a 220 or better. This year, 30 horses.
30 horses, and you know what I saw sitting there watching and helping. Everybody's showing a little more aggressively, but you know, the Futurity used to be cut a soft cow, dance around in front of it, and that is not the case anymore. I mean, you are going to go see these guys cut tough cows and hold them. Obviously, you know, there's no penalties involved, but we've seen some big time hard runs, really hard runs, and for 3-year-olds. So it's going to be pretty exciting watching it go forward, and the colts look good, really good.
There were some runs there, any of those top runs that might be competitive next week in those opens over there across the road in the Watt.
In the Watt, exactly. and one of the horses that really caught my eye in the first go-around, Johnny Mitchell showed a Metellus cat out of Junie Wood, a fabulous show mare, big winner in there. And he cut a cow that Junie Wood could have handled pretty easily, but this colt handled it very easily. I mean, he looked fabulous, and you know, there's always early favorites, and you certainly know the leaderboard, but I would not venture out on that limb very far, because there is a slew of talented colts.
Yeah, and this is just, I mean, a comparison to the snaffle bit, they say it's never over till the fence work. Well, that's what this is starting to be like. I mean, it's anybody's game right now. Those ones that are in contention, and just like you mentioned earlier with Jose Cruz, he's on the bubble with a 14.5, but he showed tonight that he could mark whatever it takes to come back.
That is a horse that, if he can advance, and he's dug himself a hole, there's no doubt about that. He's got to have his finals run in the second round to get to the semis. He's going to need a big one, a 20-something. But she looks very capable of doing it, and as is Jose. So you know, we wish him nothing but the best. And you know, there's nothing that. You know, when you see a good horse, you want it to get showed. The best deserve to be there on the last night, and there, you know, cutting is cutting. You got to have the cow gods on your side, and we saw some very good horses have some bobbles, and hopefully they'll be able to, you know, put that big score up there in the second round to advance, because it's probably going to be 34, 35. I'd probably be north of 35. I would say I would feel comfortable with a 36, a 35. You're going to sweat.
Yeah. And the great thing is, I mean, there's a lot of names that you might not normally see in a finals, but I mean, they're putting up some big numbers here. And this cutting, it's unique. It's the most level playing field that we ever have at a cutting.
Yeah, it is, and it, you know, first time out of the box for everybody, and every year we see young trainers or the assistant trainer get a better horse and a better horse and a better horse, and they get them showed, and that's what it's all about, and it's good to see not that there's a changing of the guard, but it's good to see fresh faces.
Absolutely.
And you're pulling for them guys. We've got Josh Sleeman that came down from Washington State, marked a 222 in the first go round, and I'm cheating a little bit looking over here. Armando Castanedo's got a fabulous horse.
Oh yeah,
I mean Armando's got a great horse. Cass Tatum has a tiny little smooth talking style mare that, I mean, she was some kind of good in the first go round. So you're going to see some, not that these are new names, but you're going to see some fresh names, I guess, in the finals, in the semifinals. And don't ever bet against the old veterans, but it's good to see the younger guys and people that don't necessarily come every year have a crack at this big pot we're fixing to cut for in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and some of the females, I mean, make it the Cowgirls, putting some big scores up. Kathy Dawn, Morgan Cromer, Lindy Ashlock.
Lindy Ashlock, Kate Newbert marked a 220 and a half on a catch ride for Morgan / Russ Miller. I mean, another smooth talking style, really nice little mare, and Kelly Earnhardt had a really talented mare in one of these later sets today and had a little bobble, marked 17 and a half. Certainly, it's hard to think a 17 and a half is below the norm, but she's gonna have to cluck up. But it's a horse that can do that, and everybody is there. I thought last year was tough. This year is probably a more even set of horses for some reason. I think, last year was outstanding, but this group of horses, I mean, shake them up and throw them up in the air, and it's anybody's game, and showmanship is certainly going to play a part, but there's a bunch of them and a bunch of good bred ones, so we're in a good spot.
It's going to be fun to watch, and they're doing the draw right now. They'll be posted shortly. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., we start off with the second go round, and like you said, we're going to narrow this field down to 60 horses. And it's going to be on. I mean, it's going to be a shootout to get one of those spots, and it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah,
everybody's ready to roll, and we've not had a lot of trouble. Everybody's masking up, and we're doing our social distance, but it's been a great week so far, and
weather's been great.
Yeah, weather's been outstanding, good. And the World Finals people are coming to town. We hope to have a little bigger crowd, this week as we go along. But it's been fun, and everybody that's got a score is fixing to jump in there, myself included. I'm hoping to be cutting the last weekend again, and it's been great. So we appreciate you all watching us, and we've kind of given you the highlights of what's going on here, but it's going to be a good 3 days of cutting, and we'll have 60 great ones to go to the semis.
It's going to be fun to watch. Well, Tim, we'll catch up after the second go-round, and hopefully you're in there. We'll be bragging on you a little bit too. And don't forget, everybody can tune in to chclivescoring.com and follow along. And thanks to Badboonarising for sponsoring our wrap-up today.